since Joanne isn't here, Bill, do you want to read the finance? Do you mind? Finance and personnel on B?
On B, yes, I do.
Do you mind picking that up since Joanne is not here?
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, we didn't talk about that. We ready? Okay. I'd like to call to order Council's regular business meeting for February the 25th, 2019. Council just left executive session that was scheduled to conduct an interview for a candidate for town manager and to discuss any other personnel matters that were pending. We will begin with the invocation by Councilman Burns and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Some of us will use this time to preach their beliefs instead of considering all members of the community. I'd like to take my time to point out that the beliefs of those on council are supposed to be irrelevant, and you should consider the separation of church and state. I'd also like to point out that treating people differently because of their religion, sexual preferences, and color should be frowned upon. My hopes in the future is council will try harder to remove partisanship from the proceedings within the town. And remember, we work better as a group instead of a side.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes of Council's regular business meeting of January the 28th, 2019, as submitted to each member of Council?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Are any of the comments or any changes that need to be made to the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting the minutes from the January 28, 2019 business meeting, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes are accepted. Under announcements, I would like to remind everyone of the Community Spring Cleanup Day, which is April the 6th. We'll be meeting here. You'll get more details about what time that meeting will occur, but that's April 6th. Please mark your calendars. I'd also like to thank the members of council, administration, and the services committees, boards, and authorities for attending the first annual Services Appreciation Dinner. I thought it went very well. People seemed to enjoy themselves a lot, so thank you all that you were able to make that. Reports of committees. Zoning Committee.
Zoning Committee, we have the things on the agenda for tonight. It's the subdivision by Salem Development, the Ordinance 1484, and the Ordinance 1485, which deals with the medical marijuana. And so we'll be discussing, I'll be reading through those.
We are making a motion to approve the subdivision.
Yeah. Is that? Oh, I thought you were talking about the. Okay.
No.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Move to approve a subdivision application submitted by Salem Development Company for 3 single-family dwelling units to be known as the 1045 Grubbs Road plan of lots located at 1045 Grubbs Road, which is approximately 400 feet north of the intersection of Canterwood Drive and Grubbs Road, as per project number 25441, prepared by Trent Corporation, sheets number 1 through 8, dated January 4th, 2019, with the latest revision being February 7th, 2019.
I second the motion.
Okay, there has been a motion and a second to approve this subdivision that is on Grubbs Road. Is there any questions or comments from council? Okay, hearing none, or any questions or comments from the citizens? All right, then there has been a motion and a second, and time for discussion. All those in favor of accepting approving the subdivision application that's been submitted by Salem Development for the lots at 10475 Grubbs Road. Indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Move to adopt ordinance number 1484, an ordinance which would change the zoning district of certain vacant property located on Ingomar Road, identified as lot and block number 945J52 in the town of McCandless, from C7 Office Building District to R3 Townhouse and Garden Apartment District, and would amend the zoning map of the town of McCandless accordingly.
I second the motion.
There's been a second and a motion. Is there any questions or discussion from council? I think this is a much better use of this lot, considering where it is, for it to be townhouses and garden homes than an office building. I think that's a real good idea. Are any comments from any of the citizens? Okay, hearing none, there's been a motion to adopt ordinance number 1484 that would change.
Drive.
1484.
1485.
No, 1484 is the second, I'm on the
Oh,
second
I'm
one.
sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Move along.
With the speed of light.
Yes.
An ordinance that would change the zoning districts of certain vacant properties located on Ingomar. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Third item is move to adopt ordinance 1485, an ordinance of the town of McCandless, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, rezoning certain properties abutting Corporate Drive in the town of McCandless. That Corporate Drive is on McKnight Road, identified as lot and block numbers 715L234, 715L207, 715L150, 715L137, 715L110, 715R25, 715L248 from C5 Commercial Residential District to C6 Light Industrial District, and amending the zoning map of the town of McCandless accordingly. Amending the planning and zoning code to provide zoning regulations for the medical marijuana facilities, including medical marijuana academic clinical research centers, to be permitted as a conditional use in the institutional district. Dispensaries to be permitted as a conditional use in the RC residential commercial district, also the C3 highway commercial district, and the C4 regional shopping district, and grower processors to be permitted as a conditional use in the C6 light industrial district, amending the planning and zoning code to provide amended zoning regulations for the personal storage establishments / facilities, and to relocate regulations concerning undefined and other land uses, and repealing and replacing Article 1337 of Part 13 of the codified ordinances of the town of McCandless in its entirety.
I second the motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any comment from council? We've been working on this for quite some time. The way it works is if you don't make a place for something, then it can go anywhere. So that's what we're trying to control, where this could go. And so by making its special light industry district. So that's what this is about. Any comments or questions from any citizens? Please come to the microphone.
John Harrison, 1473 Hedwig. I just want to double check and see. 1485, what you're voting on is what is just strictly on this page, but the stuff that is the next section in your document here, it says draft. You're not voting on that right now, correct? Or are you?
Let me see what we were talking about here.
We are voting on it.
It's a draft until we adopt it.
Okay.
And then when we adopt it, it's the real thing.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, hearing none, there has been a motion and a second and time for questions and comments to adopt ordinance 1485, an ordinance of Town of McCandless, to establish our new C6 Light Industrial District. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Finance and Personnel Committee.
Number one, I move to approve checklisting number 2 dated January 10th, 2019 through February 6th, 2019, totaling $961,458.87 as submitted to each member of council and posted on the bulletin board and town website.
Is there a second?
Second.
There has been a motion and a second to approve the list of bills. Are there any comments or questions from council? We've had these bills for a month now to kind of look over and see if we have any questions. Are there any questions or comments about the bills for anyone from council, from the audience, citizens? Okay, hearing none, the motion has been made to approve checklist number 2 dated January 10th, 2019 through February 6th, 2019. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Number two, move to adopt resolution number 2 of the 2019 series. A resolution awarding the allocation of 25% of the 2018 regional asset proceeds that exceeded the amount received in 2017 to Northland Public Library.
Second.
Which,
Oh, sorry.
I'm not done yet, please.
Okay.
Okay. I'll anticipate your view, though. Again, picking up at Northland Public Library, which is $734.37 in accordance with Act 77 of 1993 and the Intergovernmental Cooperative Laws of Pennsylvania.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Are there any questions or comments from council? So we get so much RAD money every year, and if it goes up from the previous year, we have to give 25% of it away to an intergovernmental agency. And that would be, we only have 2, and one of those is the library, and that's who we chose to give that money to. So that will help them with their, they've got several capital projects they're working on, so that will help them. Are there any other comments from council? Any other comments from any citizens? Yes, please. Please come up to the microphone.
I just have a quick question.
Okay.
Irene Caliendo, Hot Drive. Just out of curiosity, what's the other organization that would be eligible?
The MIDA. No, the COG,
North Hills Council of Governments.
the North Hills Council. of
Thank you.
Governments, Yeah. Any other questions? Please come up.
Saying that you've only got 2, what is the qualification of someone to be able to receive that money from the borough?
It has to be an intergovernmental cooperation. So it has to be something we're doing with like another community. Like if we were sharing a, what would be another example?
Other recreation facility.
Oh, if we had a recreation facility that we like shared with Franklin Park. That would be something that we're working on together, so we could put that money for that.
Okay, so like the ambulance service would not be one that would qualify for that because it is supporting the community?
It's an authority.
Okay, so it would not be eligible for it, is what you're saying?
That was the only 2 that we have.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Thanks. Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, move to adopt resolution number 2, the 2019 series, awarding our extra RAD money to the Northland Public Library, $734.37. All those indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there any unfinished business? All All right, hearing none. Is there any new business?
Move to set the salary of Chief of Police David R. DeSanti at $96,000 for the remainder of 2019.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. There has been a motion and a second to set the salary of Chief of Police David R. DeSanti at $96,000 for the remainder of this year. Are there any questions or comments from council?
Yeah, I have a comment. Before we vote on this salary motion for the chief, I have a few comments to make. First, I would like to apologize to Chief DeSanti and the fine members of the police department, and further to the residents of the town of McCandless for the delay in bringing this matter to a close. The investigation was ably handled by Tucker Ahrensberg, and I thought the matter was brought to a close except for the development of a corrective action plan when at the Town Council special business meeting held on January 21st, 2019, I moved to have Chief suspended without pay pending the development of a corrective action plan. The plan would allow the chief to correct and improve certain areas it was felt by some council members that he needed improvement. It is much like an annual review plan many employees go through in connection with their jobs, except that parts of this correction plan and the delay in developing the plan had, in my opinion, a different agenda. At the time I made the motion, I thought the plan would be developed in a week or at most 2 weeks, considering the amount of professional talent that the town has at its disposal. Therefore, I agreed the suspension should be without pay. However, the agenda for January 28, 2019 business meeting, the meeting a week after I made the motion, Town Council's agenda included, much to my surprise, a motion not for the return of Chief DeSanti on February 1st, 2019, but for a continuation of Lieutenant Donald O'Connor's position of acting chief commencing February 1st, 2019. While Lieutenant O'Connor is an excellent police officer and by all reports has an outstanding character, he was not the choice of the majority of Town Council, neither now or in 2016 when Chief DeSanti was hired. Chief DeSanti was hired in 2016, and he moved with his wife Gina and his mother and her mother from Oakland, where he had been chief of police, to the town of McCandless. In fact, the former mayor of Oakmont tried to speak before council on the chief's behalf. While the chief is not perfect, he is a caregiver for elderly parents, and that shows me tremendous character. It is truly a tough job when you lay down your life for another. In addition, while McCandless, chief of police DeSanti has greatly increased the training for police officers, initiated a K-9 Corps, initiated an Officer of the Year award, promoted from within the department 5 officers, helped to initiate an officers resource program for the school, have a TRIP program so residents can inform the police of a situation that allows police to be aware of certain matters, and Chief DeSanti is constantly praising his officers before town council. Chief DeSanti has done much for the town. Therefore, in light of all that he's accomplished, I felt that a 2-week suspension without pay was more than enough of a punishment, in addition to the suspension he suffered since late October for his alleged shortcomings. 2 weeks without pay turned into 4 weeks without pay. It seemed to just drag on for no good reason. And now some people on council want to lower his pay even more under the guise that the reduction in pay is part of the corrective action plan. Reducing someone's salary is not a corrective action plan. It's done purely for punitive purposes. My sense of justice will not allow me to vote for a salary reduction when the Chief DeSanti has already lost approximately 4 weeks of pay. I will vote no on this motion.
Are there any other comments from council?
Yes, before we move forward on this, to vote on this motion, I'd like to move to remove Chief David R. DeSanti from office.
There is a motion on the floor right now, so we can't have a second motion on the floor.
That's right.
So we'll deal with this one first, and then.
And then another motion can be made.
Right.
Okay, so we have to finish this one. Are there any comments concerning the motion that is currently on the floor about the salary change? From council? All right, are there any comments from the audience? Please come up and say your name.
Hi, good evening. Marcia Caliendo, Mohican Avenue. As with any personnel issue, I respected the privacy of the town's investigation in this matter, and I have never said any public comment on it. Private matters should be handled privately. However, it seemed that some members of council didn't feel that it should have been handled in a confidential manner and leaked details of the investigation to the press and other media outlets. I believe it was a great disservice to our town, as it only added to constant speculation and the spreading of false information. I really believe at this point in time, it really is for each and every one of you to explain your reasoning for allowing the chief to continue in his job with just a mere slap on his hands. I know at least 4 of you voted for his return, and I think everyone's vote should be made public. I don't think that's going to violate any confidentiality that the investigation warranted. All of your other votes are made public. I don't know why this one would not be. And I really don't understand this vote for a decrease in the salary. If you really feel his salary should be decreased, I do agree that there probably should be an issue about removal from office. And quite frankly, I just don't understand how the vote of the rank and file and the other police officers for no confidence is not weighing heavily on your decision. So this is an issue that should not be brushed under the carpet. I do believe that each and every one of you, we have a right to know how every one of you feels about this issue. Thank you.
One word there is technically in executive session, votes are not taken. Decisions are made by consensus. Not everyone will, of course, agree, but so that a little bit of a words there are a little bit different. It would be against the Sunshine Law for us to vote in executive session. All votes must be taken publicly. Having said that, I can speak for myself when I say that I have absolutely no tolerance for any kind of harassment. You asked for a statement. I have no tolerance for any type of harassment, especially sexual harassment. I think our town deserves a police department that is professional, dedicated, and honest. And I think our police department deserves a leader who sets that example. I think action plans can improve individuals' behaviors. I'm not sure that they're much good with character. Having said that, I will continue to support our police department and do everything that I can to make it successful and stable. Any other comments from citizens? Okay. Hearing none, there's been a motion and a second made to move to set the salary of the chief of police at $96,000 for the remainder of 2019. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Roll call.
Ward 2,
Aye.
Ward 3,
Aye.
Ward 5,
Nay.
Ward 6,
Aye.
Ward 7,
Aye.
Ward 1.
Aye.
The vote was 5 in favor, 1 against. Motion carries.
Thank you. All right, any other new business?
I'd like to move to remove Chief DeSanti from office from his position as chief.
I'll second that.
There has been a motion and a second to remove the chief of police, David R. DeSanti, from the position of McCandless. Am I getting this right? Are you writing it down? Okay. From McCandless, chief of police. There's been a motion and a second. Is there any comment from anyone in council?
Yes, Madam President. Well, I don't expect anyone to change their vote. I do expect that making this motion will at least allow the people to see who is voting which way.
Any other comments?
And that's why I second it, so, yeah.
All right. Any comments from the audience? Okay. Okay.
I'm Pamela Wilkoskis, 8040 Edward Road. I don't know what hate you have in your hearts, but I do know that none of us are perfect. And this, I know nothing because Greg doesn't tell me anything. But I know there's been a lot of gossip, and I know people come up to me, and I know that they hear things, and they know who they hear them from, and I think it is really sad that this is our town council, and we have you're representing us, not one of you. This doesn't even make sense. You're taking a good person and you are just destroying a good career. Why? And again, I say it, what hate do you have? Thank you, Greg. I'm proud of you.
Thank you for your comment.
You're welcome.
Any other comments?
Phyllis Brandon, Marmion Drive, lifelong resident of McCandless Township. I'm in absolute shock that this is even being considered. As somebody has stated, nobody's perfect. People have made comments that have been on social media that they regret making. People make comments in life that are taken the wrong way. Chief DeSanti is a wonderful person. There's no reason why his salary should be reduced, and there's no reason why you should be voting this vote. And it is a shame of everything that was leaked to social media. And I wonder why the news is here today. I guess somebody leaked that this vote was going to be on the meeting tonight again. I can't believe people are doing this. And for the ones that vote for DeSanti to return, yes, it will be remembered come voting time. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Are there any other public comment? Okay.
Hi, Marcia Caliendo again. I don't doubt that Chief is a pleasant, wonderful man. I've had great interactions with him any time that I have met with him. However, I cannot get past the vote of non-confidence from the rank and file and the other officers. And there's something that is lacking, that it's not a character assassination. But there is something that is there, and I just feel that is one reason that you all have to strongly consider this vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Tonight, Ron Eichner, 285 Richard Road. I don't have anything written tonight, and I'm aghast at what has been brought into motion. This, in my opinion, could have been all taken care of in 7 to 14 days. So if we use November 1st as a timeline, by November 14th, it could have all been done. But the reality is there was just an undercurrent and just a whole bunch of debacle, and it just drags on. I feel it's a travesty. We had a lieutenant and a chief suspended for 3 months. Basically almost a $60,000 value. We got administration costs at more value, legal fees at values, and accusations that were unfounded. And it's just a travesty as far as to try to even go in this direction as far as on the chief's behalf. For the record, January 28th, everybody was here, and you had an acting police chief here that was going to retire in a few days. And supporters of the police department was saying, basically trying to land-based counsel for bringing Lieutenant Basil after suspension on the same shift with a female officer. To sell an agenda, that was what was being sold, but the truth is it never happened. So we got, 22 of our finest were here and an acting police chief that basically supported the deflection, and I find that a travesty, and I just wanted to state it for the record. Thank you.
Thank you. Please come up. Say your name.
Madam President, Council in good standing. On October 5th, my wife at 5 o'clock in the morning fell in the bathroom and going into shock. And if it wasn't for this one particular police officer, he was there in about 7 minutes. And all the paramedics and the 911 lady that helped us. And our police officers, they take a lot, and they don't get enough credit for all the training they go through. And I feel that we owe a lot to our police officers and our paramedics. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other comments? Hearing none, there has been a motion and a second to remove Chief David DeSanti from the position as Chief of Police of the town of McCandless. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
Roll call vote.
Ward 2,
No.
Ward 3,
Aye.
Ward 5,
No.
Ward 6,
Aye.
Ward 7,
Nay.
Ward 1.
Aye.
The vote is 3 in favor, 3 against. The motion fails.
Motion fails. Any other new business? Is there any public comment now on any comment now? Doesn't have to be related.
Chickens. What we'll do.
There's
Before the
there's no chickens on
new
the agenda.
business. I
Can-
promised someone the other day I'd
Can
ask.
we bring that up in the committee instead of at the business meeting?
Let me bring it up that for new business, that I would like to talk about chickens, begin the discussion about chickens at the next meetings, that we're allowed to.
We can put that on the agenda. Are you gonna do a presentation on chickens?
We will do something, yes.
Okay. At the public portion of the business meeting, you can make any comments about anything. All other meetings, you have to make comments related to something that is going on the agenda. So if you have a non-agenda item you'd like to make a comment on, this is your time.
My name is Scott Metzger, 128 Kayla Road. On behalf of myself, my wife, and our neighbors on Kayla Road, I just wanted to thank the McCandless Town Council for the work and support that has been shown for us with the recent Perry Shops development in Ross Township, which abuts our property. Councilman Walkakis, Councilman Kirk, Mr. Betty, and many others have been very supportive of us and have really shown a great presence to help us and our neighbors manage the process through a very difficult process with the Ross Township zoning board and other issues, and just a lot of things going on. And I just appreciate the work for the town council and the employees of the town that have supported us in that. So I just wanted to state that for the record. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Any other comments? If there are no comments, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned.